Hello, I'm Sam, and you can find more of my work at samgay.com. If you enjoy what I'm doing and want to show some love, consider joining the community over on Patreon. For a small contribution each month, you can access all sorts of goodies and support my work. If you're already a patron, thank you, you're awesome. So, wow, it's been almost a year since my last video. So what's been going on? Well, last year was a little bit tough. There are lots of changes, and many of the things that I usually have time to do got put on the back burner. One major change is that I moved. I moved from one state to another, from the woods to a small city, and I am getting used to it. I miss the woods a lot. I miss taking walks and just going outside right into the woods. But it is nice to be able to go walk and see people and be more of a part of a community. There's always something interesting happening, and I'm closer to a lot of my friends, which is really nice. So last year, I was dealing with a bit of anxiety that got out of control. Those of you who know me a bit know that I have a hard time with anxiety, but since moving and getting settled in, I've had a chance to maintain my mental health a little more consistently. I've started exercising and meditating regularly, and I'm eating better, and all in all, I feel a lot better. And the last bit of good news here is that I spent most of the last year trying to complete the art for the Blood Moon Tarot. It was 4 large paintings. Each of the paintings was one of the suits for the tarot deck, and each one of those paintings of the suits encompassed each of the individual cards for the suit. So they were these big paintings that got pretty complicated, and they were much more challenging than I anticipated. And I went through a range of emotions as I worked through them. Sometimes everything flowed easily, sometimes it was a struggle, but most of the time it was just sitting down and painting and painting and painting and painting. But this painting here is the last of the art for the tarot deck, so that's done. Hell yeah. I am really excited to know that in a few months I'll have the physical deck in my hands, and I'll be mailing it out to all the folks who backed me on Kickstarter. And all those years of work and experience will be encompassed in a beautiful little stack of paper. It's really exciting. So let's talk about this final card. This is the world. The world has eyes that see the wholeness of things. She knows that something as simple as the spiral of a seashell is reflected in the swirling travels of wind-blown dust, or the expansive dance of a distant galaxy. She knows the rhythmic tides of her breath are mirrored by the sea, the stars, the way things are formed from bare elements and dissolve back to dust. She knows that her story is only a small part of something vast, and carries that outlook with her through her journey. As one of the first cards I sketched, and the last card I completed, the world has had a long journey. There are core visual and conceptual elements that have remained throughout the process. Breath, the color pink, the spiraling of a shell, and stars. When I think of wholeness and connection, I think of floating in the ocean, of millions of stars so far away that they appear as a faint fog in the night sky, and of feeling so small that you disappear into the vastness and are a part of it. So you can see where some of the visual inspirations are coming from. For this card, I wanted a mood of mystery and magic. I wanted the focus to be on the shell, and I wanted there to be something that connected us back to the Fool card, which is the card that begins the Major Arcana set. You might want to pause and go take a look at the Fool card so you can see what I'm talking about here. For those who can't look at the moment, the Fool card depicts a large doorway with carvings surrounding it, including a large guardian figure that seems to be opening the doorway and looming over it. Beyond the door is a lush landscape, and framed in the doorway is a tiny silhouetted figure marveling at the landscape beyond. I imagine the character in the World card is the same character that stands, silhouetted in the doorway of the Fool card, but it is also the same as the huge figure looming over the doorway. The Fool has grown and gathered on their journey, and I imagine the World card is the moment before they open a doorway for a new young adventurer. The shell swirls and expands, opening to that new place, and the character holding the shell becomes that guardian figure watching over their doorway in the Fool. So in this card, there is a beginning and an ending, wholeness and connection. If you'd like to know more about this card or see more behind the scenes, you'll enjoy the heck out of my Patreon, so be sure to take a look. If you're not really interested in joining Patreon, there are still a bunch of public posts in the archive that you can totally feel free to enjoy. So yeah, I'd love to have you over there, and if not, keep an eye out for the next video, which I hope will come out soon. Thank you. Enjoy.